Hi, I'm Debbie Van Ottering. Today we're going to evaluate a website using the four-step process called REAL. For the steps, the first one is to read the URL, then we examine the content, we ask about the author and owner, and lastly we look at the links. So when we're asking, is this information real, the first thing we do is read the URL. If you go up here to look at this URL, www.brookview.karoo.net, the domain name, Brookview, does not give us any helpful information. It's not a familiar domain name. The extension is .net. Again, this extension can be owned by anyone. It looks like we might be on a personal web page because of the name Karoo after the domain name. This could be a red flag that the information is biased. If we truncate the URL by backspacing all the way back to the first /, we get this. It says that over here it says it indicates that the website you just visited is either experiencing problems or is undergoing routine maintenance. So that's not very helpful and a little bit suspicious. The step 2, examine the content. So let's look at the site here. Just in looking at it, it looks very amateurish. There are no photographs, there's not much color at all, and the layout is off. There's way too much white space over here. So it's very poorly done, not professional. On the left-hand side over here, we have some links to other pages on the site, but no external links are provided on the main page. I also would like for you to note the date, December 2000. That's way off. The information seems to be all very tongue-in-cheek. It's funny, but it's not accurate. If we go to the natural history page, we don't get a lot of information there. There's no fossil record. They have some very funny little stick figure drawings. So that's not very helpful. If we go to the camouflage page, we see that down here, here's an expert he's quoting, the late Dr. F.P. Woods. And then there's some photographs taken by his late nephew, David. Here's the photographs. You can't see anything in those. Again, not much helpful information. It all seems to be useless. If we go to the training page, we'll skip a few pages because they're all kind of the same. If we scroll down to the bottom, there's some links. I got very excited about that. I thought maybe there would be some helpful information, but when we click on them, we just get a message that it is an error. So it's like link rot, if there ever was a link really to begin with. They're all that way. I'm not going to click through all of them. But even the questions and answer page is full of made-up questions with funny answers. That leads us to step 3, which says to ask about the author and the owner. If we stay on this question and answers page, according to the very last question here, everyone you've mentioned on the website is dead, yourself included. So even the author, according to this website, is dead. So that was not helpful either. So I decided that I would use a program called EasyWhoIs. This is a website we learned about in our textbook, and it's a very good resource. When I typed brookview.karoo.net into the lookup record, we got a message down here that says no match for brookview.karoo.net. So according to this, they don't know who the author is. So I decided I would go to the Wayback Machine. In the Wayback Machine, I put the address in right here, and the first link they have to it is in February of 2001. So if you click here, you see that the name is John Hopkin. So maybe this is the author, John Hopkin. I don't know, it never really says. Well, it says thanks for visiting the John Hopkin site. So this must be it. But I went over here and clicked under humor, and it said these are the current spoof sites I've put up for a laugh. First one is stick insects. Aha! So now it's telling me that it is a spoof. If you go to April 1st, which is April Fool's Day in the United States, and click on that one, and again go to the Humor tab, he says, with the main purpose of throwing anarchy into the business of searching for information on the web, I've set up a few spoof sites. These have proved surprisingly successful, and I get a lot of search engine hits for earnest researchers who don't quite understand what I'm doing. Have fun, I do. Here it is again, stick insects. So we pretty much could stop right here. But we're going to go ahead and look at step 4. Step 4 says to look at the links. Well, we've already examined the forward links and found them all to be faulty. So now I want to look at the backward links to see who has linked to this page. To do this, I went to altavista.com, which is actually now owned by Yahoo, and I searched for links to the website by typing in the search bar the word link with a colon followed by the website with no spaces. And you can see here the ones that have linked, the other websites that have linked to the Stick Insect website are all hoax. Well, the first one is actually the same one. And then there's the Museum of Hoaxes, there's Cheshire Cat, Blogspot, there's the Hoax website. So they're all having a good laugh. So that tells me that this website is good for laughing, but it's not good for research. In summary, I think Real is a great way to teach students how to analyze a website. It's easy to remember and simple to use. I was interested in pursuing this website because I know that stick insects exist. I have held one in my hand, and if I go here to National Geographic, there are actually pictures of stick insects and lots of helpful information. So I know they existed, so I was curious as to how this website was a hoax. And I learned that the website really gives no helpful information about stick insects. It is a spoof just designed for humor. If I go to Google and type in a Google search, let me show you what I searched up here. I typed in stick insects. This website, the spoof one, is actually the 5th one down, right here. And it looks pretty convincing because it talks about it being a foundation, and they discuss views concerning stick insects. The first entry is actually Wikipedia, which we've been taught is not the best place to go for research information. You have to be very careful there. It's not till you get to the 3rd one that you even see National Geographic. So it's not that far-fetched to think that stick insects, this Brookview site, might be a good one to do. So I want to use this example with my students. I will project the site onto the smartboard and talk it through like I've done here. I think it'll be a good exercise for my students to see that not everything that you read about on the internet is for real. That we have to use caution and use things like Real, where we read the URL, examine the content, ask about the author and the owner, and look at the links. Thank you. Have a great day.